Good morning, good afternoon. I am so honored for this next guest. As anyone that knows me, I love education, empowering others, uplifting. On this episode of I'm Dr. Lett The Podcast, I have someone that I followed for a long time and have learned so much from. Now, listen, this guest is going to share insights that will inspire, motivate, and uplift you to be the best version of yourself. Dr. Ty, it is an honor to interview you. So without further ado, please introduce yourself.
First, thank you so much. Humbled. I hope that, what you've seen and what this conversation reveals is the genuine self. I always try and tell people that you need to be the same person in every room you walk in. And in these interactions, I hope that the people see, first and foremost, I am the person that I put out on social media, good, bad, and in between. Ultimately, I want to be known as somebody who's real, from every angle, and that a support just for everybody in the educational community and in leadership. Because I think that from my perspective, the world is such a crazy place. It's changing. We need people who are willing to put their voices out there and create an atmosphere of support, love, and try and make themselves better through these conversations.
Yes, thank you so much for that introduction. And that leads right into the first question. Your passion really comes from working with students. You're doing amazing things at your level within, your school. But you recently stated one of the best parts of this job isn't the title or the accomplishments. It's the people you meet along the way. I would love for you to start off by telling us who are your biggest inspirations throughout your journey and why?
So I think it's important to note as well is that this journey you don't go on alone. The work, the accomplishments, that's done by the people that you build the relationships with. And I've been inspired by everybody and anybody who has shown me a way of doing things that my brain couldn't process at the time, especially as a young educator. So I look back to when I was a student teacher slash in the classroom, my mentor, Jess Killen. He first day said, I'm throwing you to the fire. You're going to learn this. And he supported me through it all, but he let me flounder. And then we had really good conversations. So that's somebody who I will forever be indebted to because he gave me the opportunity to really stink it up, but learn and grow and figure out who I was. On top of that, I have two really amazing professors who actually I'm going to go back and visit next week. We're going to do a teacher camp in Indiana. Debbie Rickey is one of those people, and Randy Weishart are two people who have just been astronomical in helping me find my voice. It'll be funny for you to hear this in the audience. I actually never really talked in graduate school. I kept my feelings, my opinions to myself. I noted everything and I have journals and journals, but I didn't talk as much as, I put myself out there now. I also would have to look at people who I worked with it was called the Worthington Academy. So it was an alternative program in Worthington. I was the first person hired, and I always tease the principal that I was the first person hired. So I hired him. But that group of people there really helped me figure out who I was. We all came from different personalities, backgrounds. We had a former dean of students. We had a former engineer. We had a first year teacher, and we made it work for the kids and we made it work for our environment. We handled all of our issues in house. And so that group just really made me better. And then I think to all the people who I've had an opportunity to touch my life, from the APs I've worked with when I was an AP all the way up to my teams now I have veterans who show me and give me insight that I'm learning even as a building principal, and they're an assistant principal, but they've had roles that I aspire to be. So I learn from them. So there's just too many people to thank, but each and every person should know that you've had an impact on me and it's really meant something to me.
That's incredible that you're able to highlight the mentors that have supported you throughout your journey. For anyone watching this, I interview amazing people doing amazing things. Consistently, it's brought up the people that have helped them along the way. And so I cannot emphasize enough to foster the relationships of the people that support you. It will pay off and it's worth it. Now, Dr. Ty, when you think about the field of education and some of the challenges facing the field, on a positive note, what keeps you optimistic about the field of education?
Number one, it's the kids. The kids are the most resilient. I know people say, they have short attention spans, which they do. We do as a society. That's just because of the social media aspect that we're in. But the kids are so resilient. If you look back at COVID, they adapted to learning online, not being in school, or having minimal contact. Now you look at how they came back. Did it take some time? Yes. But any obstacle that has been thrown in their way, they just blend to it. And as adults, that's sometimes the hardest thing for us to do in buildings is to adapt to new ways of doing things. Kids are just like, okay, like cell phones in the state of Ohio. They had to be gone and out of the building. Like, we can't see them. Like, we can get in trouble by the state. Kids are like, okay, in the bags they go. Now, do you have a few that push the boundaries? Yes, but for the most part, kids are just so adaptable. So for me, it's the relationships that you have with those kids. Other things that make me excited, I think it's this mind shift that, and I preached this for a number of years, and there's nothing wrong with it, that college isn't for everybody. Like us forcing kids to go to college just because that's the norm, that bothered me because there's so many opportunities out there. And for us to pigeonhole a kid who college or school was not their thing, but working in the field in terms of, HVAC, plumbing, all these amazing opportunities that we scoff at before are now becoming the jobs that truly are being filled. And these kids are being fulfilled because they don't have to waste money to go to college. So for me, that's a huge piece that I really love. So that's one thing. Other things that I really love is I think this shift, I think this dichotomy of it's slow, but it's slowly becoming, for a long time, it was us versus them in teaching and education, like teachers and admin, that dichotomy. I'm slowly seeing that start to erode away because of good administrators that really listen, that put their heart out there, that are in the trenches with their teachers, trying to make the educational space a place they want to be. Again, we know burnout is huge. And for us to continue to thrive, we have to be, as leaders, listening and taking in what is happening on the front lines with our teachers.
Yes. Now, Dr. Ty, you mentioned good administrators. Sounds like you were throwing a plug to yourself.
No, I am, I will humbly say that I have made so many mistakes, but I'm quick to learn from those mistakes. Yeah. I've just been blessed to be on teams that have pushed me to be better. I could not be any luckier, especially as a principal. So I'm going into, gosh, what is it? 4, 5, 6, year 6, technically 7 if I'm my director, as a director up in Columbus, as a lead. And for me, I've always been blessed with people who have made me better, which is amazing. I talk about that veteran who has had position and is now sitting as one of my APs. She has given me so many insights and to make myself better just in conversation. And if you're willing to listen and take in that information, you make yourself that much better. So I make mistakes. I'm the first to apologize. I'm the first to listen and say, how can we make this better? I also have the policy. I felt this before in a previous role where none of my ideas went anywhere. And I was like, I think this will make a difference in our building. I never shoot down ideas. If it doesn't hurt kids or bring harm to the building, let's give it a try. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out. And we move on and we try and figure out another way to do things. But if we're not reaching every kid, then we're not doing our job.
Yes, absolutely love that you're embracing everyone's ideas. And I'd like for you to respond to this. As an educator and someone that's extremely active and vulnerable on social media, you're a hero to so many people across the world. How does that make you feel?
It's humbling. I wouldn't use the word hero because there are people who are doing far greater things than what I'm doing. All I'm doing is putting my voice to hopefully people who feel like, man, I wish I could relate to somebody. That's always been my goal, is I just want to create somebody who people can relate to. If it's through fitness, I inspire somebody, great. If it's through me presenting the real, with education, the good, the bad, and in between, that's great. I just want to be somebody who goes, man, if he does it, I can do it. Or that little thing, I can take away from it. Heroes are people who are doing real things that are making just astronomical change. And I know, there are people who are doing little things, and I just don't want to categorize myself as that because I'm just somebody who decided that today's the day I'm going to put myself out there to the world. So my only hope is that I inspire a few people. And if that means that they look at me as somebody who is like, man, you're awesome, and then that's great for me. But ultimately, I just want our educational system and our kids to be as enriched as possible. And we have good educators and we have good leaders who do that. They just have to be inspired sometimes to see that, because I need that sometimes. That's why I'm on these social media platforms. And I want to be able to go, oh, I'm stealing that idea. Like just the other day, I posted about our custodians. Somebody had posted about, they had this list of heroes that keep our building going. I'm stealing that right off the bat because I'm like, that's an amazing idea. Like, we need to give these people a shout out because we don't see them all the time, but they truly are the ones who are making the building go and making sure that, in the summers, things get done.
Yes, absolutely. So special shout out to the heroes that don't get the recognition that maybe they should. Right.
Definitely.
And I love that online you're proudly open about, your cultural identity. And you stated as a proud American and son of Colombia. I loved how impactful that post was. But what does it mean for you to embrace your cultural identity in all spaces?
It took me a while to accept that, especially in education, because it almost feels like at times people want to put us in a singular box. You were just a teacher. You were just a principal. And that's not what I want our kids to see. I don't want our kids to think that, well, I'm just a student. The minute I walk into a classroom, you are more than just a kid in these four walls. I want to know about who you are, athletic wise, musically. I want to know about you as a person, because that at the fiber is who you are. The time you're here in education, yes, it's really important. I really love that, you want to be a model student. That's great. But more importantly, I want to know who you are so I can help develop you as a good human being, because you're only with me for so long. And then I pass you along to the next either grade level or grades, excuse me. And so from my perspective, you are such a dynamic human being. For me just to say one thing about you, that's not fair to you, because I'm lucky enough working in the district I do now. We are so diverse. I could be talking to a kid who is from Ecuador. I could be talking to a kid the next minute who's from Uzbekistan. And if I'm not willing to be open about who I am, what makes them break down their barrier?
Yes.
And from that perspective, that's what has really had the most success in my first year is I'm out and about. I want to know about the kids. We have cultural festivals. We do all these things. I go to those. A, I'm a foodie. And B, I just want to learn, because what you don't know helps you grow.
Wow, incredible. I am also a foodie, so I agree on that. Now, for anyone inspired by this interview, tell us, how can they connect with you?
So I am an open book. I say on LinkedIn, if you want to connect, send me a message. Write on my post. I will jump on a Zoom as long as my district allows it to go through to talk to anybody. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know how many friends I've made recently through the PhD. A number of friends are working on their PhD right now. And it's just me sending them a quick message like, hey, you got this, keep going. I have also mentored a few young people just talking about, is administration the next right step for me? I'm happy to talk about fitness, food, anything just to create those bonds, because what can happen is education can be very lonely at times, especially if you're unfortunately in a situation where you maybe feel like you are the only one, or you don't feel that camaraderie in your own district. So there are too many teachers out there for us to allow them to burn out and move on. You got to find your tribe and you got to lift those people up. And so for me, I just want to be able to help lift people up, hopefully a little bit of inspiration along the way. And at times, if you need a thought partner, hit me up. I'm happy to bake some ideas with you and see how we can make it work.
Yes, and before the interview, everyone, I gave Dr. Ty a little bit of flack because he posted somewhat recently asking viewers, asking LinkedIn members to guess his age. So for anyone watching this, guess Dr. Ty's age. I would love to see some of those responses. Now, Dr. Ty, as we conclude this incredibly insightful, inspirational, and motivational interview, tell us, what takeaways should viewers leave with?
Number one, you got to be true to yourself, because again, I will say that you can fake the funk, but kids can see right through it, and they're the ones that will call you out on it. Number two, you're not alone in this process. I felt in previous years where I'm the only one going through this. No, you got to find your tribe. Like I said, sometimes it's hard to put your voice out there, but it's well worth it, because you connect with great people such as yourself and all the people that I've connected through LinkedIn with. It is a great opportunity to grow your circle and find people like-minded that push you, challenge you, and make you better. And three, I would say, always keep at the heart of everything the relationships with anybody in your building, in your district, because ultimately those relationships are the ones that power you now and into the future.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Ty. This has been incredible. This is an interview that someone watching this will feel inspired because not only have you navigated some of the challenges and obstacles to get to where you are professionally, but you also are intentionally giving back to the next generation of leaders, whether that's someone aspiring to become a building principal one day or go into the trades. Like, I love that you're allowing folks to determine the best path for them and you're supporting them in what makes sense in whatever ways that they feel they may need support with. So thank you so much. This episode of I'm Dr. Lett The Podcast is one that it's truly been inspiring for me. So I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. And again, if anybody ever needs anything, reach out. I am happy to talk to you guys. And again, for allowing me to share my voice.